That's true.
Yo, YouTube. It's a late one tonight, but
It
we're
is.
here. How's the old farming?
Could be better, but it's going. Like we got 80 acres done today, but like as we're finishing up, I was like, well, I'm gonna go over into this other truck and dump. And apparently when we were finishing up the other day, because like I was pissed off. This would have been Sunday. I was pissed off because people kept driving on us. And like because there was a train on the tracks, so they're like, oh, I can just drive on this private property and go through to get where I want. And so I had to stop a few people and I cussed them out and told them to get the fuck off my own. I was like, yeah, I even said that. But
How did that work for you?
I mean, it made me feel good. Like, because like one was a truck, and as soon as they saw me, like, oh shit, and they took off. And the next one was just driving up, and I'm like, what the fuck do you think you're doing, you piece of shit? This is fucking private goddamn property. And he's just like, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm like, no, just fucking get it. Because it's like
really embracing your grumpy old farmer.
well, it's like it's one thing because you can be like, oh, I didn't know it was private property. There's a fucking shed and there's a line of grain bins, and then we had an auger set up and a truck set up. It's like, huh. It's almost like you just are upset that you got caught, you fucking idiot. But that night, so I was pissed off about that. Dad was getting in or out of the truck, and his like while I was moving my truck, so I wasn't there, and I guess his knee buckled, and he fucking fell flat on his back. So he's like all beat up and all hurting, and we didn't get the back door shut on the semi. So fast forward to today, I'm going out and dumping. Or no, this would have been Saturday, and we hadn't used this truck since Saturday. So I'm dumping. I get the first thing fill, and I'm pulling on over. And I'm like going slow. And I'm like watching. I'm like making sure it doesn't. And then I look down, and it's just pouring right on out. Like fuck! It was like only 5 seconds, but it's still like a lot. Like So I was like, this is great, wonderful.
Exactly how you want to start the work day, right?
In all fairness, this was like the end of the day. So I'm like, I was like, this is like after we text. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a late one. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a very late one.
Yeah.
Well, how about you, man? You having a good day?
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't do a fucking thing except play Metroid Prime all day.
Nice. That's the GameCube one?
Yes, they remastered it for the Switch, and
Nice.
I've had it for 6 months and just finally got around to playing it.
Is your like huge stack of video games, is it like getting a little bit smaller, or is it still just kind of like never ending, like how your comic book stack is?
It is getting smaller because I'm not picking up as much as I normally would. I got through Sonic Mania Plus over the weekend. Which I mean, that's like a short one, but it still felt nice to get one just off the list.
Yeah.
And I honestly think I got about halfway through Metroid Prime today.
Nice.
Yeah, so then I'll just have maybe 2 or 3 more Switch games, but the new Sonic game is out later this month, so I know I'll pick that up.
Did you ever get to, because I know you had the other new Sonic game that came out a year ago or whatever?
Frontiers.
Yeah, yep. Did you ever get to play that? Because
it's one of the 3 that's remaining.
Okay. You're like, gotta get this other one.
Well, I'm trying to go by like shortest to longest.
I gotcha.
So according to Google anyway, these other 2 are shorter. So
yeah. Okay, so this is a dumb question, but is Frontiers basically like that, like the Sonic version of that the Legend of Zelda game, like where it's like, oh, there's a lot of shit you can do, or no?
I honestly don't know. I don't know how involved the open world stuff is. Looking forward to finding out.
Yeah.
I know that it was pretty well received, and then The one that's out later this month is Sonic Superstars, and that looks very much like Generations kind of. So
Okay.
I think that'll probably be a hit too. Um,
I just thought something really stupid. How funny would it be with the Frontiers if it's like Fallout, where it's just like, yeah, I just ended up getting married, having some kids. I forgot all about the main storyline.
some mutants take over.
Yeah, it's like I was building up my house, like I got
Right.
my dog meat with me, so it's pretty great.
Oh, but anyway, good stuff. Good stuff. Shall we do a Mad Lib?
Let's do a Mad Lib.
I was thinking of. I know. I started this with Yo YouTube, but this episode is so short. I think we should just include all of it for the
Let's
normal
do it.
episode.
Also, speaking of Mad Libs, what happened to the Mad Lib on the last YouTube one?
Yeah, I checked the YouTube comments right before you jumped on here and saw your comment. What happened was, so like I cut that out and then I do the full version on YouTube. Well, the cut out version is what we upload to Spotify, and I put that on YouTube as well. So
I got you.
I just didn't do it. If I have time in the morning when I'm like time stamping and shit, I'll just put the Mad Lib up like we've done in the past.
Yeah.
So, all right, I rolled. We've got SpongeBob as the Mad Lib this week. All right. It's called Home Sweet Pineapple.
Oh.
So we'll start us off with a noun.
Pineapple.
An animal.
I'm gonna say a snail. You know the worst part? I wasn't even thinking SpongeBob, and as soon as I said it, I'm like, wait, Gary's a snail.
Gee, it's almost like you know what it's for. A type of food.
Ooh. Caviar.
A verb. You were gonna say it. I could tell.
Drive.
Drive.
Yeah.
Verb ending in ing.
Driving.
Okay.
Nah, fucking.
Another verb.
Whacking.
Part of the body.
Butthole.
Okay. A place.
Bikini bottom.
Different place.
Okay. Jake's underwear drawer.
Okay.
That's where I'm sleeping tonight.
A plural type of food.
Clams.
A verb.
Shit, man. So many verbs. I'm gonna
I
say
know.
shit.
An adjective. Don't say
Uh,
bloody. You always say bloody.
Stinky. Can you write it that way though?
Yeah. A number.
69.
A noun.
Vagina.
Okay. Adjective.
Stinky.
You can't double up, mister.
Oh, okay. Gushy.
Noun.
Macaroni.
Adjective.
Wet.
Noun.
Fuck, SpongeBob. How much do you got? Pentacle.
And a silly word.
Bukaki. Now, do you know how to spell that off the top of your head? Because I don't think I could spell it. Or are you just like, I know what this is gonna be?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Bukkake, but I don't want to put that into Google to see if I'm right.
If you're listening at this, put it in at Google and then tell us in the YouTube comments below if Jake spelled it right.
All right, here we go. Home sweet pineapple. Hi, I'm Pineapple Bob, and this is my pet snail, Gary.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to our caviar. Drive on in for the grand tour. First, we have the fucking room. This is where Gary and I This is where Gary and I whack and watch Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy on TV. Gary, is that your butthole I hear rumbling? To Jake's underwear drawer we go. Here, I feed Gary his favorite meal, clams. Eat up, Gare Bear. Next, we'll shit upstairs in my stinky library. See all those books on the shelves? I read about 69 of them. I guess they should call me. I guess they should call me Vagina Bob Smarty Pants. And now for the most gushy room, my macaroni room. Here, I have wet dreams about my job at the Krusty Krab.
That actually fits.
And in the morning, my trusty tentacle wakes me up with a loud bukkake so I can turn those dreams into reality.
Nice.
Okay. We'll just get right into it because we're not skipping anything. You know, I was going to say, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds Podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Ryder Cup to my Team Europe. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. You know, just a sleepy boy.
I feel you.
Not yet, you aren't.
Not yet. I'm going to guess, Casey, that you did not watch the Ryder Cup over the weekend.
I did not. I was like, oh, I got to watch it, but I was working.
Yeah, that's all right. As you could tell, Team Europe beat Team USA, but what can you do? Let's do some trivia.
Okay.
I've got my 3 cards here.
Wait, really quick. Monday Night Football, who won?
You know, it's a great question.
And then who's playing tomorrow? We'll do Tuesday Night Football. Is that a thing?
No, it's not a thing.
Is it the next one Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. Seems like they go all weekend too, though, right? Or am I making that up?
Sunday, Monday, Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So let's see here. It was the Seahawks versus the Giants.
And the Seahawks got that.
They did 24-3.
Fucking Giants aren't so big anymore.
And then let's see, Thursday night. Five will be, oh God, The Bears versus the Commanders.
I'm gonna bet on the Commanders.
Yeah, that's a pretty fucking safe bet there, bud. Pretty safe bet. The Bears allowed 24 unanswered points to lose the game for a franchise record losing streak of 14 games. Casey, how many games are in a season? 16. So that is a lot of fucking games that they've lost in a row.
I saw a thing where they're like, they haven't won a game since, I think it was like November or October last year. I'm like, shit.
Yep.
Jake sounded so hopeful when we went to C2E2.
Yeah, well, you never know what a new coach will do for you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the coach's fault, but
not helping.
Yeah, clearly not helping. So what sucks is everybody gives our quarterback shit. He actually had an okay game. His he threw one interception there at the very end, but it's not like that interception lost them the game. You know what I mean? But anyway, enough football talk. Let's do trivia. Don't forget to pause for the listeners.
Yep. That reminds me. This polar bear walked into a bar and the bartender's like, "What do you have?" And he goes, "I'll have a rum and Coke." And he's like, the bartender's like, "What's with the big paws?" Polar bear shrugs, "I don't know. Because I was just born with them."
I saw that one coming and it was still good.
I
like
love it.
That.
There's this girl that she pops up every once in a while on my Instagram. And all it is her telling like dad jokes like that to her dog. But like she'll go way more into it. And she'll be like, "What's with the big paws?" Like, "Oh, because I'm a bear." And they're like, "No, it's just, you took a really long time." And then they're like, just keep going. And then it'll be like about how like the bear accidentally killed someone in a drunk driving accident. And then it like works all the way back into, I guess I was just born, like it just works. It like,
right.
This is so stupid, but I can't look away.
Right.
I love it.
All right, Casey. The Avengers first formed to fight what supervillain?
Loki, correct?
Correct. It was
Or
Loki.
would it be Hulk? Because it's like didn't Loki like mess with Hulk's brain and then that's why they were fighting him?
That might be right. But I got, they wanted Loki. He was the brains behind it.
Yeah.
All right, this next one's multiple choice. What is the code name of the super soldier project that creates Captain America?
Can I hear the multiple choices?
Project Victory, Project Patriot, Project Rebirth.
Is it Rebirth?
It is Rebirth. True or false? J. Jonah Jameson's son, John, married Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk.
I'm going to say false. They didn't get married.
It's true, actually.
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
I guess I got to lose my She-Hulk fan club card now. Did you know that one?
Shred it. No, I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't even know they dated. So
I remember like just hearing in passing, like in random comics, so they'll be like, "Oh, She-Hulk's dated a lot of guys," that type of thing. But
right. I wonder if that was like Dan Slott, early 2000s era.
I bet it was probably. I hear that is pretty darn good She-Hulk too.
Yeah. Okay, another true or false. The Hulk and Kyra had one son named Scar.
Okay. I'm gonna say false, but I'm not sure because that's the correct answer. But the other son didn't pop up until like a little bit later than Scar, so I'm not sure if how old the trivia cards are.
You are correct.
Okay.
It says false. They had two sons, Scar and Hero Kala.
That one they just straight up killed.
Oh,
yeah.
How come? Like, how did he die?
I mean, I didn't read it. I just read like the Wikipedia page, but I guess he was just a straight up dick, and like they're like, yeah, and they stopped him, and they stopped him by killing him. It's like, well, damn, Bulk.
What can you do?
Yeah.
All right. What is the name of the armor that is painted red, white, and blue colors?
Iron Patriot.
Correct. I don't think you'll get this last one, but maybe you'll surprise me.
Maybe.
It is it's multiple choice, so you probably will get it. What being does Thor learn is his birth mother? This is before Jason Aaron in this last bit.
Let's hear the multiple choice.
Hera, Gaia, Juno.
Oh, it was Elliot Page's Juno, correct?
Incorrect.
I'm going to say Gaia. That's
Yeah.
That's actually my proper guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the only one with Norse background.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got 4 out of 6. Not too bad. Okay. Oh, we had a comment about last week's Fantastic Four. This comes from friend of the pod, Nick. He has a cigar podcast called The Cigar Pulpit. So if any of you are cigar connoisseurs and that's your thing, check out The Cigar Pulpit. But Nick said that Batman would for sure have Battenstocks, which are just Batman themed Birkenstocks, and I could see that happening.
I like that.
And then Superman with just some plain white New Balances. And I could see that too.
Yeah. And he keeps them cherry.
Yeah. All right. So we have an abysmal news week again. That's okay. Couple things here. So House of the Dragon Season 2 has finished filming, and we're looking at a 2024 summer release for that. It's been a long time. The first season was out last year, so that's more than a full year.
Yeah.
So very ready for that.
How many episodes was the last one?
I want to say it was 10.
Okay.
It might have been 8.
That's not near enough for that long of a break.
No, but production's too high and all that for them. So, in other news, the writer's strike is over this week. And then the actors' strike, they've met a couple times for negotiations, but the next round will be this upcoming Wednesday. So we'll see if anything happens there. Be pretty cool if it did.
Yeah.
So we could come back to having some news. And then final thing, James Gunn said that he is writing Peacemaker Season 2 right now, and then confirmed actors that are returning to his DCU are John Cena, Viola Davis, and I don't know how to pronounce the Blue Beetle actor's name, Zolo Maraduena.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That one surprised me, but makes me happy.
Did you get to see Blue Beetle?
No, I know it just dropped on HBO, so I need to watch it.
Oh, nice.
Sure had a pretty short shelf life there in the theater, but
I think it made more money than Flash, though.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure.
That's cool. I'll be honest, all my customers have liked it.
Yeah.
So,
I'll be honest, it doesn't look like my cup of tea because it's just like you guys are ham-fisted in this unfunny humor like Flash did, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Will you watch it now that it's on? Sorry, Max, not HBO.
I mean, if I end up buying Max again, I don't. I got rid of my subscription whenever they up the prices, but now NBA is going to be on there. I'm like, well, maybe I'll get it again.
Yeah, I feel
But
you.
man, it's just like I hear James Gunn talk about his plan for the DC, I'm like, buddy, just be honest with us. You have no fucking clue what you're doing, do you? Because like people were like,
I think he knows bits and pieces.
yeah, but he's like contradicting himself all the time. They'll be like, because he, was answering questions on Twitter, which is like, but just don't, because you're digging yourself a hole. Because they're like, so if everything starts with the Superman Legacy movie, which is what he said, um, why is Blue Beetle going to be in here, and what about Peacemaker? He's like, well, actually, it's starting with my Creature Commandos, which is coming out soon, and then Superman Legacy, and then everything starting after that. It's like, well, you didn't answer the question. Like, oh, well, it's a soft reboot. So this is just, it's these same actors playing the same characters, but the stuff hasn't happened. And it's like, I don't believe that. One, because you're doing season 2 of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I thought it was common knowledge that his stuff started with Creature Commandos, and that was the first thing that he listed.
Well, because he said it starts with Creature Commandos, and then later on he said it's starting with Superman because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I really think that's just what it boils down to. He's just like, yeah, I'll just say shit.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it contradicts it. I'm just gonna say stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should, no matter what it starts with or what happens, people are gonna go see it. I know you won't, but in general, I think people will.
I don't know. I really don't. And I'm not. I mean, I'll probably see a Superman movie because I mean, fuck, I sat through Man of Steel in theaters, and Batman vs Superman in theaters. So I mean, I could probably go see a James Gunn Superman movie and not be too upset. But I'm not sure because it's like DC's done, or WB Discovery has done such a good job of like alienating fans and pissing people off and making bad stuff and promoting things terribly and doing just doing everything wrong possible, that it's like, and now it seems like they're trying to appeal to the Marvel crowd, but the Marvel crowd's so far up Marvel's ass that's like they're not going to go see a DC movie. So it's like,
You say
I don't
that,
know.
man, but a lot of the annoying Marvel fanboys that, and I'm just talking like casuals, none of my like diehard customers, specifically said that they would go watch his Suicide Squad movie because of what he did at Marvel. So
yeah, all right. Well, that's good.
Granted, that was a couple of years ago, but still.
Yeah. Because like, I mean, I'm just going off the stuff I see on X, and they're always like, no, this is going to be bad, blah blah blah, which it's like, it's impressive how well WB just like fumbled DC, because it's like Marvel was starting up with a bunch of characters no one really knew about, and because they didn't have the license to any of their good characters, and then like DC could have came in and be like, yeah, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, and like they're like, nah, let's just do this the worst way possible.
Creature Commandos, The Authority.
Well, even before that is what I'm talking about, where it's like, yeah, let's do Man of Steel and get
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and it's like, and we'll get Zack Snyder to direct it. This director that is known for his cookie cutter movies. It's like, no, that's not going to work at all.
Yeah.
Like anyone with half a brain would know that wouldn't work.
Until Wonder Woman and Justice League, but those came later.
Yeah.
But all right, that's it for the news. And the great United States Postal Service did not give Casey his books in time, which is a real fucking shame, because I really wanted to talk about a couple of these. So I will just go through my stuff. I read my stuff. I read Conan the Barbarian 3, Green Arrow 4, Sonic the Hedgehog, Amy's 30th anniversary, Blade number 3, Immortal Thor number 2, Godzilla War for Humanity #2, and Action Comics 1057. So first up, we've got Conan the Barbarian #3. It's written by Jim Zub with art by Rob De La Torre. You know, the story continues. There's zombies. Conan and his chick are fucking him up. Finally, we get a priest of Thulsa Doom, who is a reoccurring bad guy for Conan. So we finally get that cult, which is pretty neat. And I'm looking forward to the next issue. It's a good time, man. It's Conan as you want him. So 9 out of 10.
Doing a talk show at prime time, right?
Yes, that Conan. All right, next is Green Arrow #4. I wanted to show off this cool variant by Kendrick Lim.
Oh, nice. That's crazy. That's issue 4. I don't remember you. I remember you talking about the first issue, but I do not remember 2 and 3 at all.
Well, that's because Night Terrors happened.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Fucking Night Terrors.
But this was written by Joshua Williamson with art by Sean Izaxi. Yeah, this one is, you know, Parallax Hal heavy, which is pretty neat. And then we get a bar fight with Roy and Dinah and also Cheshire. It was nice to see her again. Yeah, more future stuff with Leon, but really it's just a big old fight between Ollie and you know, Parallax.
Now, this is a spoiler, but is it actually Parallax, or is it like, you know, some random thing where it's like, oh, it's not really, it's your...
I think it's an alternate version for sure, because at the end, spoiler alert, there's like his future self that has been sending him warnings throughout the other issues and stuff like that. So I don't really know what to think, since there's like time hopping and dimension hopping. I have no idea.
But my one thing is like, what the hell is Ollie gonna do to Parallax, the guy that was beating the whole Justice League by himself?
I mean, he just convinces him no powers. Let's just settle it like men.
Oh, okay.
It worked out. I mean, Williamson's a good enough writer for sure. But yeah, it was good stuff. Plus, you get some good like history stuff between the two of them. You know, the calls them the hard traveling heroes. Is that what they were called? I'm blanking now because I'm tired. But anyway, it was good stuff. I'm probably at like an 8.5.
Right on.
Okay. Blade #3. And it's written by Brian Hill with art by Elena Casagrande and Valentina Pinti. Yeah. There's a creepy new figure that is like crazy powerful, and I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if Blade's going to stop this person. Otherwise, it's just the same cool shit we've been getting, you know, in the other 2 issues, really. I just really like this book. And then at the end, another very famous magical Marvel character shows up who will be very prominent in the following issue, and I'm really excited for it. So this was great, man. Blade's fucking awesome. 9.5 out of 10.
Right on.
Immortal Thor #2. It's written by Al Ewing with art by Martin Kokolo. It's pretty neat. I like Thor is really leaning into, well, I guess it's like the Thor force now, but he's basically tapping into that to beat this new god that shows up at the end of the first one. But if he uses that, it's going to put him into the like the Odin sleep, and then Loki shows up and he's like, "Thor, do you trust me?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess so." And he's like, "Even as your enemy, do you trust me?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then Loki does some real shady shit at the end. And it looks like he's going to be maybe a bad guy for a little bit. So I don't really know what's going on there. That would be uncharacteristic of Al Ewing because Al wrote that Loki Agent of Asgard series and really likes writing Loki. So I don't know if he's actually going to be a bad guy or if he's just going to do some shit to help out against these gods. But, you know, I'll admit it, man. It's still going strong after the first two issues. So
I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad because Immortal Hulk was a fucking banger for I want to say like the first 12 to 18 issues, and then it went downhill. So I'm hoping he can just keep it good for the, and then be like, well, I'm done. I'm not gonna do a whole 50 for who knows why.
Yeah, I hope so too. But really, it's going to be one of those things where it's like it depends on what these new gods and how that wraps up. Will depend on how I feel about it. But so far, so good.
I hope he just rips off the new gods out of DC.
So far, it's nothing like that.
I'm just saying it'd be funny if it's like the Low Daddy. And
all right, next is Godzilla War for Humanity #2. I picked up the B cover because I fucking love Andrew McLean and it's just amazing.
That is nice.
I'm not going to say much because Casey's going to read it, but I mean, art's killer. The stuff with the kids is fine. But this one, it features one of Casey's very favorites for a lot of it, which is fun. And we get some Mothra. So, the monster stuff is strong and the human stuff is like pretty fine. So overall, it remains a strong Godzilla book. And I think based on the next issue, like cover art, it might be Manda.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, I like this book a lot, man. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Right on. I'm excited to read that one.
All right. Now we've got Amy's 30th anniversary. It's by Ian Flynn with art by Aaron Hammerstrom. I really like the cover. I think it's just super adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, Amy is an astrology girl. She's like reading her tarot cards and doing all this stuff with the animals, and then Metal shows up, and he's like capturing everybody, good guys, bad guys, doesn't matter. He's wrangling them all up for something. And so Amy gets wrapped up because the cards tell her how she needs to help out. And so she's like essentially going behind Metal and letting the characters out. And then the group just keeps getting bigger. And then at the end, there's a big showdown against Metal and Robotnik. But a lot of it is just like really funny. Like they find like Sonic's not in this hardly at all. And then they're at the end, they're at Robotnik's big lair, all these capsules, like in the old Sonic games, you jump on the thing and it opens up and all the animals come out. Well, that's what they're all being kept in. and you don't see Sonic this whole time. And then Amy finally opens one up, and Sonic's just laying in there. And he's like, "Hey, Amy, thanks for the save." And then he just like hops out and goes around kicking ass. But
Nice.
I just thought that was funny. And there's some good humor moments with the other characters, like well-known characters that are in there too. But yeah, we get the chaotix, and Amy gets to shine and save the day. And then at the end, like Robotnik is like in his little flying thing, he just flies into his lair and everything's totally fucked. And he's like, "What happened in here?" And then it ends. And
That's
I just
funny.
thought that was hilarious.
Now, does Amy have her car?
No, she does not. Just her Pico hammer.
Me and all 5 other Sonic R fans are livid right now.
It might be because I was playing a lot of Sonic Mania this week, but this issue hit really well for me. And honestly, is probably my pick of the week.
Nice.
I just had fun reading it, man. It was just so fun. And Metal is my favorite Sonic character, so it's just cool anytime he gets to show up in anything.
Here, I thought your favorite was Froggy.
No, he's my favorite meme.
Oh, okay. Can we at SonicCon, when it comes to Decatur, Illinois, can we be Froggy and Big the Cat?
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, hope it comes here this year.
Yeah. We'll meet Ken Penders.
There we go.
Like, hey, you guys want to come back to my hotel room? I got this great idea.
He's like, keep the costumes on.
All right. And finally, got Action Comics 1057. It's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Rafa Sandoval. This book is so good, dude. I'm so glad that Action's back. It starts off with just a classic good Superman moment between Superman and like this construction worker. He's like way up on this like metal beam on a skyscraper, and Superman just flies up there and is having lunch with him. And the conversation is so good. You have to tell me whenever you read it, Casey, because I just know you're gonna love this scene. Yeah, I don't want to say too much. There's like this big kind of like eco-terrorist group that they're like Greenpeace. They're terrorists, but they're not technically labeled as terrorists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows who their leader is. But then somebody contacts the Daily Planet and says, "Hey, our leader wants to have an exclusive with you, but they're only going to talk to Clark Kent." So Clark does this interview and something's funky. So he tries to find out what it is as Clark and Superman. And then something pretty crazy happens on the last page. The first backup, it's more of the Dan Jurgens Lee Week story. I know Casey's not hot on it, but I like it. And I still like this one too. I think all the characters are written well. And then the next story is a Connor, sort of a Connor, what is, I know her name's McGann, but what's her name? Like Martian?
Ms. Martian.
Ms. Martian, thank you, Jesus. Awesome. It's like a Ms. Martian, Connor, and Ma Kent story.
That is a weird 3-way relationship I never expected.
Yeah.
That love triangle. That was the word I was looking for, not 3-way.
Either way, it's weird.
One's really hot though. The other one's just it's like, true. Oh man.
I thought it was a pretty good story though. I like it. It's mostly, Connor still struggling to figure out like who he is and what he wants to do, but I liked it. Yeah, and that was it. I mean, a book that isn't Sonic the Hedgehog, this would get pick of the week.
Yeah.
It's everything that we want. So, I guess I don't know if I rated Sonic.
I don't think you did, but
both would be a 10 for sure.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna withhold, until I read it, but I kind of get annoyed with Connor stories where they're like, I don't know who I am. It's like, buddy, you haven't known who you were for a while now. Just either get some therapy or grow up. Come on.
Yeah.
Gets old.
No, it does. I just like that one because of the conversations that he has with Ma.
Yeah.
But I totally get that.
Okay, man. What are you excited for?
Birds of Prey 2 for sure. Probably Doctor Strange. Been liking that one a whole bunch. Oh gosh, what's the last one I'm excited for?
Star Wars Shadow of Light? Or Starlight?
No, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's the High Republic stuff. But now I'm going to say the Pirate Godzilla book.
Right on.
You?
For me, I'm going to say the plot holes, because the first one was really good. Since you stole Godzilla from me, I won't say that. So I'll say Fantastic Four and Joker. Man, stop laughing. It's a lot of fun. All right, so I've been listening to that Delta Green podcast where they're playing, Delta Green and sort of like they've changed the rules up a lot for what they want, but it's basically just them playing a role-playing game. And I was just thinking, Jake, give me 4 characters that you'd want to DM for in Dungeons and Dragons. You're like, these guys would be fun.
That's a good question.
Jake, wake up. You fell asleep.
I know. I don't know. I feel like one of the like teen characters would be pretty fun from either side. I don't know, something like I wish that they would show some of these characters doing stuff like this, because it's hard for me to pinpoint one. I just feel like any of the teenage characters would do it, like Miles or Miss Marvel or something like that.
Yeah.
So fuck it. We'll say Miles. I think somebody that is from a fantasy setting would be fun. So use someone like a Thor maybe, or a Black Knight. So Miles, Black Knight. God, dude, it's so late to be coming up with shit on the fly.
I know.
I'm gonna go with Artemis from DC, the angry version. I know she'd play a barbarian. And then Amadeus Cho.
Right on. So I've never DM'd before, but I'll just say Ted Cord and then Peter Parker, because you know that they both have played several times. And then Hercules, because I think he'd be fun. And then we'll toss in. I think of someone. Oh, Ralph Dibny. He'd probably enjoy it.
He's probably one that like played one time, enjoyed it, but just never played again.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to get your friends all together to do it.
That's true. All right. And that will bring us to the end of the episode. It's a little bit shorter than normal, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. If you would, head on over to Oh, you know what? I am going to do a shameless plug real quick because I can do that. Half of this is mine. Um, Comic Headquarters launched a t-shirt campaign over the weekend. If you guys have any interest, if you shop there and didn't know, or if you don't shop there and want to support anyways, I will link that somewhere on the social, but I've got regular t-shirts, soft t-shirts, hoodies, and crew neck sweatshirts. So if you want to get a Comic Headquarters t-shirt, now is the time.
Now that's Comic Headquarters on Telegraph Road in St. Louis, Missouri.
You got it, buddy.
See,
So yeah,
that needs to be a Two Worlds podcast shirt. It's just the same exact thing, but then and underneath in like small letters, it'll just say
on Telegraph
Telegraph
Road.
Road.
All right, now it's closing plugs time. Facebook.com/Two Worlds Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at X, Twitter at 2_worlds_PC, and Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We would appreciate it.
And leave comment down below and say, hey, I think that Batman would be really fun to play Dungeons and Dragons with.
No, he wouldn't. I don't have time for this.
He's like, I just rolled a nat 1. It's like, that's not good, bud.
Okay, now I kind of want to see it. All right, guys, we'd love to stay in chat, but Casey has to cradle me in his arms and hold me up and show the world that he won me.
I've got to drink wine out of him.
Yes. Wouldn't be the first time.
Nope.
Bye, guys.
Bye.